This is an instant blog, vlog, opinion piece, whatever you want to call it, from Prodder on Politics. Sorry for the cough there. Early this morning, Vice President Kamala Harris chose Minnesota Governor Walz to be her running mate. It's a surprise choice since his state's not really in danger anymore. It was sliding into danger under Biden, but it was recent polls was up 6, 7 points. But it does guarantee a state that she needs is in her column. Now, if she loses by 5 electoral votes and she loses Pennsylvania, then she has only herself to blame for this choice. But in the end, it's not looking like on the current path of self-destruction that Donald Trump is on, challenging her blackness, her ethnic identity. He seems to be melting down fast and furious, so it may make no impact. I watched an interview with Walz yesterday as several people, including Let's Talk Elections, predicted he would become the nominee. He's a good guy. He makes you feel like you want to have a beer with him or something like that. He did the interview in a T-shirt. He is a good politician, and he won in a House seat, two or three times before he became governor, in a Republican district, a district that has gone back to the Republicans, but it was always a Republican-leaning district. So he managed to survive and become governor in a district that was difficult for him. He's got much more experience than Josh Shapiro. Josh Shapiro has no federal experience, so there's some logical reasons. But the old rule, which was last proven when Kennedy ran in 1960, that having your running mate come from an important state like Johnson came from Texas, estimates were 0.5% to 2% is going to add to the vote total in Pennsylvania. I think if he maintains a good schedule and he continues to fight for it, that he will keep Pennsylvania on track. And if that doesn't work, it's just going to make Walz visit more and make Kamala visit more. So it ought to work out okay. I think it's critical concerning Israel policy, though, that Josh Shapiro, though critical of Bibi Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, he had knowledge of Israel and Israel policy, and there would be less likely to be a conflict over weapon shipments and such and such as what happened recently with Joe Biden. Joe Biden called himself a Zionist. I think for the first 30 or 40 years of his political career, he was a Zionist. He ceased being that when it threatened his reelection, which he thankfully decided to drop, as he was proving to be cognitively incapable of doing the job of both being president and running for office. And there's some question in my mind whether he can actually do the single job he has. But, you know, if the Republicans push that issue, they're going to help Harris out some more, because all they do by pushing him out of office early is make her the incumbent. It's clear the vice president had no power, and if any conspiracy was going on to keep Biden out of sight or out of meetings and out of exposure of his dementia or whatever problem he has, it certainly was coming from the inner staff of the White House. It wasn't coming from Kamala Harris. Now, sure, former President Trump can say anything he wants, but as a decision, I think Walz will not hurt the campaign. He's been auditioning very well for several weeks. I think that the fact that he is a progressive made her more comfortable. But the Trump attack is going to be, well, they're all progressive now because Harris took progressive positions in order to win in 2020. She's going to have to walk those back and go toward the center, which she should anyway, because she wants support from the middle of the road moderate voters. And in order to get that, she has to walk some of these things back. It's easy for her to walk back. My insurance statement was, I've studied the issue for 4 more years as Biden's vice president. I've changed my mind. It's not hard, and frankly, her winning strategy is coming down to just continuing to get under Donald Trump's skin. Crowd size, there's battles like that. Trump yesterday unloaded on the Republican governor of Georgia during an appearance, or maybe it was the day before yesterday, whatever it was. It was stupid. 70% approval the man he has in Georgia. You're lucky he doesn't come out and endorse Harris directly. Trump is still upset about 2020 because the Secretary of State wouldn't find him 11,200 votes to overturn the election. And Georgia was an extra state anyway. If Georgia and Arizona had been flipped back to Trump through illegal action, it wouldn't have changed the outcome of the election. It just would have made it closer and tighter. So I don't know what Trump's thing is. I think speaking negatively of Kamala Harris is speaking to his his far right MAGA adherents and increasing their turnout. I think he's going to continue to implode and damage himself. And in that case, it doesn't matter who Kamala Harris picks. I don't think it's a bad pick unless the election gets very tight and she loses the election. That not being likely more, that not being likely more and more, making it an irrelevant concern. But he's a good man. I like him, and he'll do good work for her. I'm not concerned about it. I think that Shapiro was the better pick, but that's because I'm pro-Israel, and that's my issue. So if you like this content coming up, popping up in your day, send it to one friend. Get one friend to subscribe. That's all I'm asking you to do. One friend to subscribe. I'm going to keep putting it out because I want there to be a record of my opinions out there. And I want you guys out there who are listening to this and not registered, call me out. Tell me I told you so when something happens in the future in the election or whatever that shows I was wrong and you were right. And better yet, tell me now.